What's going on? This is Donald Tardy with Obituary, and you're watching So Fucking King Cool.
All right, So Fucking King Cool here with Donald from Obituary. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, dude. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Nice to see you.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be a little bit different now this day and age, man. You guys are the pioneers of the death metal scene and in it for 30 years now.
Yeah.
How do you think the genre has progressed from what you guys first started off at to where it is today?
I think it's surprisingly the same. I think metalheads love their music and they're super devoted to the fans that they truly love. And they're still showing up. And, the early 2000s, it was a little bit of a struggle, just too many bands on the planet and not enough time for fans to pay attention to everybody. But kind of seems full circle right now where the venues are packed. I mean, the tours, just Obituary Cannibal, you can't ask for better for a death metal fan to get their hands on. So
yeah, for sure.
It's been great. It really has been great. And the scene in America right now is really making us proud, man. That people are showing up and are really digging the band and digging the new album, and the tour's going great.
That's cool, man. That's real cool. It's got to be a little bit different, though, just from the fact that when you guys first came out, it was like no airplay whatsoever and fucking flyer and everything like that, but now there's channels devoted to it on Sirius satellite radio and internet radio and YouTube and all that shit, man. Does it make it a little bit easier for you, or is it the fact that you guys are so well established that it doesn't affect you one way or another?
No, it makes it easy. I mean, you can't complain about social networking. You know the world's listening to your music for free and you're not making money on album sales anymore, but you can't cry about that. That is what it is. It's never going to change. So you take it for advantage of what you can get out of it, which is at the click of a mouse, we can be communicating with all our fans around the world about what we're doing now and what we're doing next, and we use that very efficiently. And that's a very powerful tool, and that's again why the tours are doing well and the fans know where we're coming next. And they're staying informed, and that's what's important, is to make sure the fans know what we're doing, because they want to be a part of it. They don't just want to hear a song off a new record and just have that record in their hands. They want to feel like they're a part of something, and touring is a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure. This day and age, you got to tour if you want to do anything anymore. These kids, like I said, a click of the button, they're going to get your album one way or another.
That's right, and they are. We know that, especially metalheads and around the world. Americans, they bought it. Europeans definitely bought it, but, we go to a lot of corners of the globe, and those people don't even have money to think about buying a record. And even if they wanted to, like over in Japan, they can't even find it. If they try and import it, it's so ridiculous to buy it. So I understand why people stream it and get it for free. It's not what the band wants to see happen, but you can't do much about it. Right. Instead, you stay busy and you tour. And it's the only way you're going to make a living if you want to make a living at it.
Cool. Do you think that it's a little bit odd that this day and age that it's not a close-knit scene that it used to be? Bands are going to go ahead and use somebody else's name to come up. It's beaten to a dead horse by now, but the Phil Anselmo thing, every single time you turn around, you got somebody going like, listen to me, this is my opinion on Phil and what happened.
I think that's the dark side of the internet, where everyone's got their 2 cents worth, especially ignorant people that want to make comments about certain things that without the internet they wouldn't even have known about. It wouldn't even have been an issue. And that's just a part of the internet that makes us all run away or want to run away. And most people just still read until they're nauseous and then they finally put their phone down. But I learned real quick for myself that I need to read none of those stories. I use the internet and our Facebook page to help fans know what Obituary is doing next. And other than that, I could care less about what people think about other people.
Good to hear, man. That's a good take on it. You know what I mean? I'm glad I didn't hear be like, well, here's what I think today. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it's not my job to say what my opinion is on what someone did or what they didn't do or what they said or shouldn't say. Who cares, man? If they offended somebody, that person's gonna get over it. We hope. And if they didn't, then they should stop reading about shit on the internet.
Yeah, for sure. No one's actually gonna know what happened because nobody was there besides the select few.
Right.
But does it bother you when you watch the crowd nowadays, and instead of seeing the kids out there moshing and get into it, you see everybody with their phone hanging up and just watching the show?
Again, I don't think you can blame them. It's just the way it is nowadays. Everybody wants to take a quick video and upload it to their Facebook page and say, I'm at the show, and you can't blame them. At least they're here.
Right. Another thing I want to talk to you about is that there's been a lot of deaths recently in the music industry, and it is a little bit crazy to me the fact that after Lemmy passed, that now everyone's coming out of the woodwork that like, oh my God, like Lemmy is the best. I mean, he is a legend, so you know what I mean? But there's tributes at the Grammys, there's everyone's remembering their stories, they're on the Billboard charts, you know what I mean?
He was awesome. Motorhead was amazing. Lemmy was the man. But sometimes it takes when you're no longer here for people to take a step back and go, fuck, man, no more Lemmy, no more Motorhead. And you really do start relishing the times that you got to see him, or dreading the times that you had a chance to see it and you didn't. And you know, at least people are remembering. I mean, that shows how badass he was. That shows how powerful Motorhead will always be. Motorhead music's gonna live forever on this planet. I don't care if there's a kid being born right now. At some point of his metalhead life, he's gonna learn what Motorhead is, and it's gonna be his favorite band at some point of his life, we hope.
Now, do you think it's shown that a lot of these older bands, that they're noticing that, like, the people their own age are passing away, that they're going to go ahead and push forward more? I mean, like Black Sabbath, Ozzy's sick. He took a couple days off, but he keeps on pumping. Tony's sick, you know what I mean? Yeah. But they're doing what they can to make sure this is the last time you get to see him.
I don't know. I mean, some people and maybe other walks of life, they would say my health is deteriorating. I want to go spend time with my grandchildren, or I want to sit on the beach and watch the sunset a few more times. I think rock and rollers and metalheads, this is what we love to do. This is my sunset. This is what I would want to be doing if I was soon to be gone from this planet. Not sipping a cocktail on the beach watching my nephews and nieces running around. You know, music's been in my life forever, and I think I'm speaking for most metal musicians my age, younger to me and older to me. It is our passion. It is our life. And it is what we love to do. And maybe that's why you still see Ozzy and Tony still doing it, even though it's getting towards the twilight years of their life. But there's nothing more fun, there's nothing more powerful, and nothing more amazing than to be on stage performing. And it's no secret to me. It's no mystery that they're doing what they're doing, because I'd be doing the same thing.
Right. Well, you guys, you know, well, not that you're that age, but you guys still are out and pumping, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Now, touring for you guys, is it a little bit harder, the fact that you and your brother are together? I mean, is it a little sibling rivalry ever? I mean, it's a lot of back and forth on the road as it is, but for being your brother, is it a lot easier to get into an argument than it is with a regular?
No, we've been a band, we've been brothers our whole lives, and we've been in a band for a long ass time together. We're best friends. The whole band is. I've known Trevor since I was 10 years old. So the three of us have been brothers for a long time. And anytime you have a relationship, especially a long 3 decades of being in a relationship, you're going to have arguments and fights. But, you know, my brother and I probably fight every day. But we're also the closest brothers that you're going to see. Very close dudes and very good friends, and got each other's back. It's just the way it is, you know. I think that's part of why we get along so well, why this band does so well on tour, and why we get along and have so much fun, is because we do have the arguments, but you know what? 5 minutes later, we forgot about it. It was something that, you know, you're getting shit accomplished, and sometimes that takes an argument. And we don't bicker about it days later or weeks later. What would be the point? And we wouldn't even be in a band together anymore if that happened. And instead, man, we're all the whole band. We're super close buds, and we just are having a blast right now.
Very cool. Now, we were talking earlier that the fact that people do download albums, does it make it to the point where, do you guys even feel like you need to put something new out because you're so well established and you know it's just going to get taken away? Or
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really ever think of it that way, but now that you say it, you know, it seems like bands are always in a rush. They always think, oh my God, the album's been out for a year, we better start writing because it takes a year. And Obituary's never felt that way. I don't care if we do another album. We love writing music, and we always do, and we actually have new material already. But we're never in a hurry. You know, the world's spinning whether we put an album out here or not. And honestly, when we put a new album out, if you played that whole album in front of everybody, they're going to just kind of wait until you play Chopped in Half anyway. So, so it doesn't matter, you know? I mean, new albums are fun for bands, and the band wants the fans to love the new record. And we push all these new songs on bands, but they're waiting for Slowly We Rot. They're waiting for Cause of Death stuff. We know that. But I don't know. We're not in a hurry. We're having too much fun to like think we have to rush another album, because Inked in Blood's not that old. It's a pretty damn good album, and it did pretty well.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best albums that I heard from you guys. I mean, I loved it, but it's still good to see that when you guys are out there, you're doing the classics. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the shit people want to hear. That's why they buy the tickets. You know
yeah, I mean, we're not stupid. You know, we love the new album. We're proud that we did it on our own, but we're not stupid, dude. We know that if we didn't play something off Cause of Death or Slowly or The Incomplete, people would leave bummed out. Instead, we know what we have to do. We want people to love the new stuff. We want people to love every album because we're proud of them all, and we try to mix it up. You know, this is a set list. We're trying our best to play stuff off every album, or at least the songs that we think people want to hear over the last 30 years. And to pack that into a 40-minute set is it's very, very challenging.
Oh, I bet.
It's very challenging.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're talking about playing 10 songs a night for Obituary. Well, we have just as many albums as we do have to play songs, so it's like, what are we gonna pick one song off each record?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair either, because then you're forgetting some of the shit. Because everybody wants to hear Slowly We Rot, but they forget how badass like Till Death is or stuff off that record. So instead, we said, you know what? If we don't get to certain records on this tour anyway, let's just pick the classic songs that we know people are gonna like and that we play well. And then of course we also want people to hear some of the new stuff, because Cannibal fans, not all of them even own Obituary records, or all of them. So we wanted to make sure they got a little taste of the Inked in Blood album as well.
That's good to see, man. You know what I mean? I like to see that it's a great set when you go out there. I hate when you go and see somebody and it's just like, why the fuck are they playing this today? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is my one chance to see them, maybe, or
right.
This is, you know, my first time seeing them.
Right.
Like, they don't do this. Why?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So instead of us getting greedy or shallow and saying, well, you know, we always play this song, or last tour we played this song, we didn't care what we just played that last tour. We don't care what we're about to do. We don't care about the new album. We don't care about the first. All we said are, what's the 10 songs that we go out there and we are just going to destroy? And we picked them. And that's what we're happy with. You get people, obviously, at the end of the show saying, you played nothing off this record, or you didn't play this album, or you didn't play something that... We have 100 and something songs nowadays, man. We got to pick 10. It's so tough. You know about putting in a band in an argument, put them in the room and tell them to pick the set list for a 40-minute show nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm talking about dudes arguing. My God, because you can't be happy with only 10 songs on a set list.
Right.
It's hard. It's tough.
It's really hard, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have been around for 30 years. You guys are well established. People know you all over the world. Tell me about the first time that you guys actually used some clout to get something that you wanted. Let it be getting backstage to meet a certain band or something like that.
God, I don't even know. You know, all I could think of is that I was, you know, we were already invited to play some of these big festivals at young ages. And it's not like I had to show my laminates or prove that I'm in Obituary. It didn't even matter. I would have paid to know that, you know, I'm playing the same day as Primus.
Right.
And that I might be able to see them at the catering, like eating dinner. I might be able to sit down, and that's exactly what it was, you know, to see the Primus dudes when, like, we played Dynamo in '91 or something. And I remember thinking, I'm so nervous that I want to go in there because I see them in there, but I don't even know if I could eat. I'm going to look stupid, like, with a plate of food, but I'm so nervous I won't even eat it. And I don't even remember what happened, but it was one of those experiences, you know, just stoked, you know. I'm a fan. I don't consider myself a legend or a celebrity at all. You know, I'm a fan of music, and I worship other musicians that are good at what they do.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, after this tour wraps up, you guys going to keep on going through the summer? Any festivals? Or
yeah, you know, we have to still concentrate on new music because Obituary takes a long time, and we do it on purpose to write an album. So we'll go home after this and spend a few weeks just writing riffs and putting stuff down on tape and then putting it in our back pocket. And then, you know, we'll do a couple go do some shows to pay the bills. We'll probably go do a quick South American run, come back home, and then write some more music. But then, it's summertime, all the festivals that want us. This year we're going to be a little bit picky and just pick the select ones that make sense for us. Again, just to be able to stay home and write, because this album came out October a year and a half ago. So, October is going to be right around the corner. We're going to be looking at ourselves going, wow, it's been 2 years since Inked in Blood came out. And we at least want to not rush it, but we want to know that we feel good that we already have some material, which we do now. And we want to just add to that, because it's a great feeling not panicking. And a lot of bands panic, and some of these albums that you've seen some of these death metal bands do, you'll hear the stories that we're still writing the last 3 songs when we were in the studio, and we wrote it that night, and I put my drums down the next morning. And I'm not that drummer. I like to play the song like 100 times, if not more, because after that 100th time or 101st time, you start doing stuff on that song, way more tasty licks and stuff, and you're like, I never would have thought of that if we would have recorded this album a year ago or a year prior, or 5 times after. Another thing I like doing is recording the songs a few different times, because again, when you think you're good at them, or you think you got a tasty idea of what the song should sound like, and you record it, and the minute you step away and you're driving down the road listening to it, you're like, okay, I could do that part better, or this is just a little too much, we should cut this part out. That's what Obituary is learning to be pretty good at. That's what I think Inked in Blood, I think that was the positive side of it, and that's where we were pretty smart about, is just trimming the fat where we needed to, and make the songs not so long if they didn't need to, and think that you have to go from a chorus to a verse to a chorus, and think that is prototype. And instead we just said, you know what, just listen to it, make changes if we want to, add something if we thought it was important, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Like when we're done with this tour, is to go home, write some of the songs that are in our brains right now and get them on tape, and then listen to them for a little while throughout the summer.
Cool.
And prepare for a 2017 release.
Now, in the back of your mind, you keep on thinking that, like, 84 you guys came out as the Executioners, 88 you switch over to Obituary name, 89 was the first official release. I mean, that's the 30th anniversary of that, man,
Yeah. I know, it's crazy because, we were a band in 84 and already in the studio in 85. We were kids,
right?
But we already experienced that feel where we were doing demos and writing that first album. Like, we were writing Slowly Rot in 86, like, already throwing it down. So I don't know, it's cool. I'm here along for the entire ride, and so is the band. We're having a blast right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
People want to follow up with you. They want to know more about you. What do they do? They go to the website. They go to Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, we live on Facebook when it comes to telling the fans what we're doing day to day. We know that, and no, I don't need to tell anybody what the Facebook is. Everybody will find Obituary, but
right.
Obituary.cc is the website. That's where I will always have the merchandise is always for sale. We're always putting new stuff up there, and keeping people informed with the tour dates as well. But it's the world of the internet.
Right.
Twitter, Facebook is obviously where the kids, I shouldn't say kids, where our fans, they get all the information they need every morning when we wake up. We let them know where we are and where we're going to be tomorrow.
Very cool.
And that's social network. That's what that's the only thing we can use it for.
Right.
You can't use it just to get mad at people because they made some stupid, some stupid thing got filmed by them. Next thing you know, the whole world's beating them up because of it. We use the internet for what it's there for, man. Make sure our fans understand what we're doing and keep them informed about the future with Obituary.
Perfect, man. All right, appreciate your time.
Cool, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, dude. Honestly, I don't have a story from the road. Our lives are on the road, and it has been since I was 20 years old, which was 30-something years ago. So close your eyes and you think of whatever story you wish happened to me. It just happened.